Welcome to A Brighter Web, a show where we discuss ideas and perspectives about making the web a brighter place to be. Each podcast will interview marketing professionals across multiple industries and discover what's worked well for the digital marketing strategy, what hasn't, and what they plan to try. If you've listened to this podcast in the past, you'll know that it was more focused on marketing news. You can find that content over at the new Digital Cast show. There's super short episodes over there, 1 to 2 minutes each, covering any noteworthy piece of internet or marketing news you need to know. You can learn more about that at digitalcast.org. So today our guest is Christina Cummings, who's the Executive Director at Kidz2Leaders. Thanks for joining us, Christina.
Hey, good morning.
So to get things started, I guess tell everyone a bit more about where you work, how long you've been there, your current role, and some of what's going on.
Sure. So like you said, I'm the Executive Director of Kidz2Leaders, and we are a nonprofit that's working to break the cycle of incarceration by providing stability, opportunity, and Christian community for children of inmates. And we, as an organization, have been doing that for about 20 years. I've been lucky enough to be here for almost 6. So I was the program director for a little over 4 years and have been in the executive director role for, about 1.5 years now. So like at any nonprofit, I wear many hats. One of those is supporting marketing and communication. So I don't know if I'm a marketing professional, but we do our best and we're learning a lot.
Awesome. So what's been working well in your marketing lately?
So as you know, we've recently undertaken a rebranding effort. So I think like many nonprofits, especially of our size, time goes really fast and you're go, growing programs and you don't necessarily have budget for marketing or branding. And all of a sudden, I think we realized, it's been 15 or 20 years since we really looked at what our brand is.
Right. Yeah.
And to my knowledge, I think since the early days, we really hadn't taken a hard look at it. So we had the same logo, same colors.
What year did Kidz2Leaders start?
We were founded in 1999.
Okay.
And the first program we did, I think, was summer of 2000. So
Okay.
This next summer will be our 20th anniversary. But so, I think, like I said, with nonprofits, your programs tend to outgrow your brand faster than you can keep up. So fortunately, we got connected to a consultant who very kindly pointed out to us that it was time to invest in this. And Green Melon Media was able to take us through the full rebranding process. So we started with messaging strategy and defining our audiences and how to communicate with those effectively. And then went through the process of creating a new logo for our organization and for each of our program platforms. And then finally, the big task was the refresh of our website, which we are so thankful for, and we're thankful for the professional direction from you all. So that has been a process. I think it really in the end will have been about a year-long process in total, because we're still working on the print communication pieces of that now, making sure our print media matches our digital media presence, and hopefully we'll be wrapping that up in the next few months. It's
Awesome.
going great.
Cool. Yeah, you're in a good place just coming off all that to say what's working well in our marketing is our brand new website and brand new brand.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
you're good
We've
there.
gotten great feedback about it. And, it's kind of strange. Like there's this conception with nonprofits that you're not supposed to spend one dime on anything that isn't a direct service to a child or a family. You're not supposed to have any overhead. And but really, in order to be effective, we have to function like any other small business, we've realized, which means we have to invest in communication and branding and marketing in order to do what we're doing effectively. You can't have programs for kids if you can't raise money for them, and you can't raise money if you're not telling the right story. So all these tools have helped us do that.
Awesome. So to flip that around, what's been a struggle, or what are you guys struggling with lately in terms of marketing?
I think our biggest struggle is that we just don't have a lot of staff capacity to really do everything we want to do. So our ideas are bigger than realistically the amount of time that we have with our small nonprofit staff. So we have probably 3 or 4 major audiences that we're trying to communicate to. We have the kids and families we serve, when the kids range from 8 to 28. So there's a few even kind of sub audiences in there with how you want to communicate. The parents of the kids we serve are millennials through seniors, and so there's some different strategies needed there. We have over 400 volunteers a year, and we have over 400 donors a year, and they all range in age. So we realized it takes a different strategy for each of those. And we have one part-time communications manager who's 16 hours a week.
Yeah, that'll make it tough.
Yeah, so that's tough, but you know, we're fortunate because before about a year ago, we didn't have a communications manager on and off at times. So now we have someone, and she's incredible, and she has a lot of experience and helps us do as much as we can in a short amount of time. But I think for us, it's all about prioritizing what's most important. We know we can't do it all, but we want to really do what we're doing well and focus on fewer strategies and do those the best we can.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's always good advice, to find your little niche and really hit it.
Yeah.
Very good. What's something you guys want to get into that you're not doing yet that you think would be a good avenue to help take Kidz2Leaders further, if you could had the time and money?
Yeah, if we had all the money in the world. I think the thing we're really focused on right now as we kind of move out of our rebranding, which has taken most of our focus in that department, is to improve our social media. I think like branding and other forms of digital communication, it's easy to say you're going to do it, and then all of a sudden it's been a week and we haven't posted anything, which I guess in social media now might as well be 5 years.
Right.
So trying to figure out what we want to do with each tool. You know, what's our goal with our Instagram? What's our goal with our Facebook? What's our goal with our LinkedIn? And being really careful and intentional about making plans for those things, which probably for other marketing professionals is no big deal, but for us has been important.
It's a challenge for a lot. Yeah. It's not just you.
Good. So, you know, we've also realized, hey, we don't need to be on every single platform that exists. Like I said, you know, we're going to take these few and do it really well and use each tool to communicate with a specific subset of our audience. And so we've started that and we've talked about it, and we're really, I think over the next year, going to focus on carrying that out to the best of our abilities. Gotcha.
So you're using different channels for different audiences, like you're using Facebook to reach the parents and Instagram to reach the kids, or what do you mean by that, the different channels there?
Yeah, so that's the goal, what you just said. You know, our kids that we serve have told us that Facebook is out, that they're not using it anymore, which was news to me. So I think Facebook, we've realized we reach a lot of our donors. I guess there's a lot of baby boomers on Facebook. There's a lot of millennials, especially older millennials. Instagram, we found a lot of our campers are following us on Instagram. So our middle school and high school friends that we're serving, our teen volunteers are on Instagram. So that has been a little bit of a different audience there. And then with our LinkedIn, we really are just starting to look at that and figure out how we can leverage that better, especially with board members and board connections, corporate connections to develop our fundraising contacts a little bit more.
Gotcha. That's a great way to do it, because I see a lot of organizations like yours, really churches, that have all the different audiences, and they usually set up separate Facebook pages for all the different audiences. That would be overwhelming for you, and like you said, not even that effective because the kids aren't going to be on there anyhow. So that's an awesome way to handle it, just reach them by the demographic per social network. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the goal. We're not doing it perfectly yet, but I think we've come a long way, and we're really enjoying learning about it, figuring it out.
That's a great approach too. I like that. What's your favorite marketing tool? I'm always into tools and toys, and we're always changing stuff up here. If people follow my personal blog, it's always about tools. What are you using lately that you just think is invaluable?
Yeah, I had to think about this for a little bit because I honestly don't know about tools. I think this is where us, not having a primary marketing focus is a little bit harder. I think I'm usually looking at your blog and your social media to figure out what tools we should be using. So we're pretty classic and old school, I guess. We use Constant Contact for pretty much everything we do in terms of digital marketing. So nothing revolutionary, but we can use it for free because of a sponsorship, and we're able to do, all kinds of digital communication that way. So our newsletters that go out, we use it for surveys and evaluations. We use it for event registration. So it really helps us with our online presence at a no cost to us.
Gotcha. Awesome.
So, yeah.
How do you handle social media and calendaring and that kind of stuff?
So this is the first year so that we've had a media plan, which again for our marketing professionals is like, obvious, but for us it was revolutionary to actually sit down and figure out what we're going to plan out and have a spreadsheet. And so we have started using that to figure out when and where we're going to post and who's going to do it. And Melanie, our communications manager, manages all of that and tries to keep us in line because we tend to get excited, and so we'll all just post on Instagram as we're out and about doing things, and then we realize there's 3 of us that have posted in 1 hour. That's against the rules, I guess.
Gotcha.
So we're trying to reel ourselves in a little bit and stick to the plan, which is important.
Yep. And you say it's obvious, and it is obvious to have that kind of schedule, but most people don't keep it. So the fact that you guys are largely sticking to it is a good thing. Putting you a step ahead.
We're trying.
Yeah. It's a challenge, but having Melanie and having you and someone that can kind of guide the ship and say, hey guys, here's the plan, let's stick to it is doing well. Yeah. The social stuff you guys put out is great. So something's working right.
Thank you. Well, it helps that now we have a great new logo and, kind of just a fresh look. So once we had that, we were like, we have to put this out there as much as possible. So people need to see it. We spent so much time creating it.
Yep, I'm sure. That was all very helpful. Thank you so much for that. How can people connect with you and support Kidz2Leaders?
So they should go to our new website, our newly redesigned website. It's kidz2leaders.org, and Kidz2Leaders is KIDZ and the number 2, LEADERS.org. So there's all sorts of up-to-date information about our programming, how we're serving children of inmates, our 4 program platforms. So we've come a long way. We started out with 1 week of summer camp serving 13 kids 20 years ago. Right now we're serving more than 300 kids and their family members a year through 4 main programs. So we'd love people to go and read all about that and check out our social media. So like I said, we're on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn as Kidz2Leaders, and would love to communicate that way. But we are always in need of support from anyone of any background with any amount of time to give. So whether you have an hour to volunteer or you want to spend a week with us at camp, there's an opportunity. Same thing with giving. There's a number of events and sponsorship opportunities, just depending on the month. So come on and check us out, and we'd love to talk to new people.
Cool. Very good. And we'll have links to all that in our show notes at abrighterweb.com. So yeah, Kidz2Leaders is a little weird to spell sometimes. So yeah, there'll be a link there to make sure you get to the right place. So thanks so much for taking the time today. We appreciate it.
Thank you. It was fun.
All right. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
All right. Bye.
Bye.